I guess I'd just love to hear from you about kind of the build up to this fight and how it's felt for you in terms of comparing it to the other 12 professional fights you've had. Has this felt like a bigger build up? Does it feel like the biggest fight that you've ever been in?
Well, this is my third undisputed fight, so it's been a big build up. We fought at the O2 Arena, but not nothing that I haven't experienced before.
I know it's your third fight for undisputed, so I get it. You've been in this position before, but do you consider this one your toughest fight to date?
Sure, if that's what they want to dub it as. I think they dub all opponents who are tall and who have knockouts on their record, they dub them as, oh, this is going to be Claressa's toughest fight. I think that with all the history behind it, oh, she beat me in the amateurs by 6 points, blah, 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 blah. If that's the storyline, and then let's stick to it then.
So do you or do you not consider it the toughest fight for you? Do you think you've been in tougher fights?
I've been in a lot of tougher fights, a whole lot of tougher street fights, and damn sure all my tougher boxing matches for sure.
Okay, so I'm interested in this then because Savannah's manager described it as clearly the biggest and the most exciting fight in women's boxing history. Do you agree with that?
It's only exciting because everybody thinks that she'll be able to knock out the boogie woman, and that's me. I'm the one that go to all these weight classes and beat all these girls up and take all the titles. So if there's a chance that a girl can beat me, especially knock me out because she got a whole bunch of knockouts, then sure, it's the most exciting. But will it be that in the fight? No.
So listening to Peter Fury, who's her coach, right, Savannah's coach, at the press conference, you could definitely tell that he preaches a lot of respect for you and who you are and what you've accomplished in the sport. Do you respect Savannah Marshall? Because it doesn't necessarily sound like you do.
Does Savannah Marshall respect me? You just said Peter Fury respects me. Do you think Savannah Marshall respects me?
I think she said that she admires what you've done in the sport. Is that not right?
And it's not about what she says. No, it's about what she does. When you sit there and say that, oh, she's not better than me, she just got to the belts before me, or I can knock her out in 2 rounds, is that considered respect? When you're talking about a 2-time Olympic champion, a 3-time division world champion, a 12-time world champ, somebody who has accomplished 20 times more than you have, and I'm younger. So when people talk about the respect, about what do I have for her, I have the same amount of respect that she has for me. And if she continues to disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect her. But I never said, she's a shit boxer. I never said, I'm going to knock her out in 2 rounds. I said, hey, she's a decent fighter. I'm just better. And I got more accomplishments. And that's true. But to keep letting somebody who only got 1 belt say that they can knock somebody out in 2 rounds who have 12 belts and 2 Olympic gold medals compared to their 0, that's disrespectful. So I have a lot of respect for Peter Fury, but fuck Marshall. Yeah, it's whatever. And if she ever want to get into a scuffle outside the ring, if she want to fight outside the ring, I beat her ass. And if she want to fight in the ring, I'm going to beat her ass too. So Marshall knows that whatever energy that she brings to me, I'm going to bring to her. So I'm not with the whole let nobody disrespect me. Like, I'm professional, but I'm also a realist. And I think that Savannah Marshall, she don't know what she's getting herself into. Now, Peter Fury knows. He understands it. But Marshall was living in an entire different world than him. And I wouldn't be surprised if she fired him before the fight for being so honest with her.
You said it's not the toughest fight that you've been in your opinion. Is it the most emotional you felt around a fight?
There is no emotion to me. Like, I don't like her, but I didn't like Hammer. I didn't like Hannah Gabriels. I didn't like Ivana Habazine. I think people want to paint out this picture. Oh, she's in my head. She's living rent free. I could care less about Savannah Marshall. If there's a girl out there or a woman out there in the world who says she can beat Claressa Shields, it's my job being a champion to present the opportunity. That's it. To prove that I'm the best. So it's not any extra hate toward her. It's just if any woman say that they can beat me, I want smoke. Amanda Nunes said she's interested in coming to boxing and fighting me. Well, guess what? I'm interested in beating Amanda Nunes' ass too. To show her, stay over there in MMA And do not come messing with the queen of boxing. Do not come messing with me, because I won't smoke with whoever. It's the men who I won't smoke with. So it's just, I know what I am in boxing. I know what I possess.
I mean, a big part of what has captured the imagination, other than the fact that it's for undisputed, obviously that's huge, but a big part of what's captured people's imagination, I think, is the back and forth and the way that you've both kind of gone at each other, right? And obviously that's a lot to do with the backstory to the fight that you mentioned, the fact that she had beaten you in the amateurs and it's the only setback that you've ever had in a boxing ring. I know that you find the narrative tired because you're like, that was however many years ago, it was in the amateurs, look at what I've done since then, and I totally get that. I guess I just wondered, does it mean that you would be happy with a decision win over her, or because of all of that talk, are you super motivated to go out and get a knockout win? Does it need to be more emphatic for you to feel satisfied?
I'm always trying to get a knockout in my fights. It's just, I haven't found that place yet, to where I throw away my skill and just go for all power shots. You know what I mean? It's like, I enjoy boxing. I love being defensive minded and offensive minded and throwing my combinations and just putting on a show. But I try to knock everybody out. It just hasn't happened with all the top opposition that I've had. But of course, we are training to be better than my last fight. We're training to, either beat her down 10 rounds or knock her out. Either or. But a win is a win. And I think that's people keep getting confused. Oh, the knockouts, this and that. A win is a win. Legacy is legacy. And that's it. People still talk about Marvin Hagler versus Tommy Hearns and Marvin Hagler versus Sugar Ray Leonard, because it was one of those fights where both people just went in there and gave their all, and they went all the rounds, and people don't know who won. So it's just one of those fights where it's like, a win is a win, and I'm okay with the win. But if the knockout comes in the fight, if the opportunity presents itself, I will go for it, and I will get it.
In your preparation for the last fight, I think it was the last fight, right, that you spent some time with Floyd and you did some training with him and took advice from him. Has he been involved in the process leading up to this fight? And is he going to be in London?
I don't know, because Floyd got his own fight coming up, I believe, or something like that.
Okay.
But I know that he's, cheering for me. He's pulling for me. And he'll be giving me a shout out after I win.
Do you expect this to be the only time that you fight Savannah Marshall?
Hey, who knows? We both got a rematch clause in the fight. I had a rematch clause with Hammer in the fight. I think Ivana Habazine in the fight. It's always been a rematch clause, so I'm not worried about it. If we have to fight two, 3, 4 times, I'm going to win each time.